Hey guys, Mr. Abyss here with Life is a Shonen. If you're enjoying the content on our channel, go ahead and like our video and subscribe to our channel. And if you want to go ahead and get updates whenever we put out a new video, go ahead and click that little bell down there as well. Enjoy! Hey guys, Mr. Abyss here for Devil Fruit Friday. And this week we're going to bring to you the Mato Mato no Mi, which is also known as the Mark fruit. The person that made use of the fruit in One Piece was known as Vander Decken. Vander Decken was explained to us by Brook to have been an ancient pirate back in the day. He was very, very well known, very famous for having acquired quite a bit of money, but also after having died, become a ghost ship. And I guess this kind of lore is passed down through each son of the Vander Decken family, as well as the name, because Vander Decken had the same name as his grandfather or great-grandfather or whatever was going on in Brook's era, whatever that would be. Now, the Mark fruit allows the user to use one hand. Anything that he touches can become marked. And what I mean by marked is, let's say I have this thing of Febreze. I walk over, I have the Mark fruit, I grab it with my left hand, my devil fruit marks it. Now, no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you take this Febreze can, you could take it all the way to Beijing, sit it on a counter somewhere. I could grab a pin, toss the pin in the air, and the pin would eventually fly all the way over to China, Beijing, and directly make a perfect hit on the Febreze bottle that I marked. Now, when Vander Decken made use of this ability, a lot of things in One Piece, the fruits, a lot of them are pretty OP, the pretty broken fruits, but the user does not use them in such a way to make them that broken. Vander Decken wasn't too, not that he wasn't imaginative, he was so focused on Shirahoshi, he only had one or two tricks up his sleeve. One thing he liked to do was he was able to imprint his mark upon Shirahoshi, and he would sit down in his base and just have piles of weapons. He would grab a weapon, toss it in the air, it would fly all the way over to Shirahoshi. So she had to stay in a locked-up room for most of her childhood growing up, because if she was outside, the doors would be unable to stop the axes. They would hit Shirahoshi, or she would have to block them, which Shirahoshi's not the type that's a fighter, so she's probably not going to pull that off. Luffy had to do it for her in the arc. Another way he used it, though he didn't with Hody, which I thought was a really cool way to use it, if you could do it somehow a little safer, it would probably work a lot better. I don't know how you do that, though. It's when he would, they lined up all the slave humans that they had. Decken doesn't have to throw the person. Like with the Noah, which was a gigantic ship, like Titanic size, probably bigger. He just walked up to the thing and touched it with his hand, then it instantly took off and started to move towards its target. I don't know if this is true or not, but on the wiki it also stated that potentially the further away you are from the target, the more force it's going to be flying at you with, because of the force that it's gaining and the speed that it's going and having to travel. Maybe it gets more force and the things do more damage than they normally would. When he did this with the humans, he used the same mark that he used on Shirahoshi, because the axe hits the doors, except he would touch a human pirate. Then the human pirate would fly through the ocean all the way towards Shirahoshi's room. Person would hit the wall, but they would get really, really, really messed up. I'm actually surprised some of these guys got up, because the way they looked, they didn't have pupils, blood was running down their face. Yes, you could throw an invading army into a castle, but unless your guys are really well armored, they're going to be just as hurt as any damage they could do now. So it's a good tactic, but it has its big negative. If you can get past that, though, you can have an army of 100,000 people and just walk down the line, slapping all their hands, and you just have an army taking off in the sky towards whatever thing you're sieging. I would have liked to seen this fruit. I would have liked to seen this fruit used by a sniper. Something like a Van Auger. I don't think it would have been cool with Usopp, though it essentially does the same thing. Imagine what you do is you get your target. You're a bounty hunter, maybe you're a sniper. I know that I need to go after this pirate. He's worth 30 million. We know he likes to frequent this port city. So, like a CP0 agent, maybe CP0 would be very good with it. Go in, blend in with the people, or maybe like they did with Water 7, become part of the city itself, so that no one's even going to suspect you of anything. But all you need to be able to do is get that one moment Or you can introduce yourself to your target, have him shake your hand, and it's done. You can go ahead, leave the city. You really don't, you can have one of your subordinates keep an eye on him just to confirm whether or not the kill did happen. So they would have to communicate through Din and Mushi a little bit. It would be, it would be a perfect plan. As long as you set this up and enact it, he takes off, goes on his ship, goes a little further out to sea, and they just have an arsenal of weapons to throw at the guy. Or even bullets. It doesn't really matter. You grab a bullet. If it's a Logia user, you grab a Sea Stone bullet, touch it with your other hand, and it flies off just as fast as it would if it was shot out of a gun. Now it gets down to, unless this person has observation hockey or armament hockey, there's nothing they can do. I know these guys have higher level senses sometimes, but it's too random, and it could never stop. You could have a pile of bullets, and yeah, you dodge the first one, but you just run your hand through the pile of bullets, and then as they all take off missiles, I know they don't have missiles here, but they just revealed that they have torpedoes, so a missile's not, no wait, Baby 5 did have a missile, so the technology might exist. You could use it as a seafront assault. You walk through the town, choose a spot that would be best used, maybe whatever damage you're trying to do, choose the area, tap your hand there. You can be so undercover there, no one's going to have any idea what you're doing. As long as you play it right, no one discovers your identity, you have yourself the ultimate CP0 agent for assassinations, dude. Sneak the guy into the court, he gets well known, eventually has a chance to meet the king. If he can just touch a piece of his clothing, if he can touch his hand, anything, get the chance to do that, you can assassinate kings from thousands of miles away. And heck, you could send things at him that are non-lethal, just to show him, if this is the way you want to do it, just to show him, I can do this anytime I want. Leave messages on it. Send pieces of paper at him. Let him know that unless you give me a certain amount of gold, it's going to get worse each time I do this. The next time he does it, it's a bean. The next time you do it, it's a small rock. The next time you do it, it's a friggin' boulder. The next time you do it, it's a ship. And until they pay you the money, hey, what are they going to do? They don't even know where you're at. You could be just 10 countries away. It's a very, very, very powerful fruit, as long as the user doesn't suck. But most of the users suck, so that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I'm enjoying it, and we'll see you next week on Devil Fruit Friday.